So let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask all of you guys this actually. Chance, you too. But Bailey, you said that when you go, like, so you obviously, I remember you going to protests when you were in high school and stuff like this. So this is nothing new to you to go to a protest. Was this the first time you've been to a protest, Rob?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Bailey. You said you understood your role, or you understand your role as a white person to go to these protests to be a body, to put yourself in the front, if you will, right? In front of the lines and those kind of things. Let me ask you, one, why do you feel that's your duty? And then secondly, do you feel that all white people should be doing that? Or, you know, like what do you expect white people to do when they're at protests? I'm asking all of y'all, but Bailey, what do you think?
So I think the biggest thing is to not overstep, because white people in general, whether it's accidentally or on purpose, take up so much space. And I mean, like, not even just physical space, like verbal, like just space. And so it's really easy for us to center everything around ourselves. Even now, like, you'll see a lot of white people posting with their rhetoric, like, I'm so saddened and shocked about these events. Like, not to say that you can't be saddened and shocked, but it completely brings the focus back inwards towards the individual, like, white person. And so I think at protests, it really needs to be a conscious effort to not overstep. So I never lead chants. I don't participate in chants that are like I can't breathe, hands up, don't shoot, chants like that. I don't participate in those because, you know, it's kind of like one of those things, like, oh, we want justice. Like, yes, of course we want justice, but we have to acknowledge the fact that it's not for us. And I think it's really easy for, you know, white people and anyone to make things about them, because the way you empathize is to make things personal. So I think the biggest role of a white person at protests is to not overstep. You know, contribute your voice, contribute your body as much as you can, but don't make it about you. And I think also the biggest thing is, I saw this a lot on Friday, is white people antagonizing police and yelling at police and talking to police and being anyone participating in the destruction. That is very counterproductive, because the fact of the matter is, police, like Black people and people of color, are more at risk when it comes to police brutality, when it comes to danger. So to do that and escalate the situation, you're putting the people that you're supposed to be protecting and supposed to be acting as an ally for in more danger. Mm-hmm. So I think, and this is hard for me, my role at protests is really just to sit down and shut up, which is, you know, I never shut up, so that's like difficult. But I think in terms of being protective and like being that body, that's another thing, like, it's important not to overstep, because some people do want to be on the front line, and some Black people want to be like right there talking to police. And, you know, I don't want to be like, here comes white savior, I'm going to stand in front of you and protect you with my 5'4" self. Like, it doesn't make sense. But just being there and being present and holding people accountable. And like, if ever I see like a person put their hands on someone, like I ask, like, officer, why are your hands on the person? Like, stepping in when things do get physical, like, really, you know, it's about making sure you're acting from a place that isn't about you and wanting to be like the martyr of the century, because like, it's just really not about that. In terms of, I think all white people should do that? I think that all white people who say that they are or want to be allies are responsible in some way to sacrifice something. That doesn't necessarily have to be physical body, especially for those who are differently able or disabled or like at high risk for COVID and stuff like that. But I think as white people and non-Black people in general, we have to acknowledge the fact that if we truly want to create more equity and more equality and you know, a more just world, we are going to have to sacrifice things. There's so much performative allyship happening right now, and I don't think it's malintended, but it's the intention and the impact are completely different. And I think that white people are forgetting, like, the whole, like, getting to where we're saying that we want to be with Black Lives Matter and with getting more justice and abolishing and defunding police. Like, it's not going to be glamorous. It's not going to be protests and cute Instagram photos. Like, it's going to be hard, and it's going to suck, and like, it's going to be, because we're all in a place of privilege. And so as white people, privilege is, when we don't have that privilege, equality is going to feel like oppression for a little bit. And so I think every white person who says they're an ally or wants to be an ally has to be ready to sacrifice in some way.
We're going to talk about performative allyship too. I do want to talk about that. But what do you think, Rob? Do you think that white people have a role at protest? Like, do you care? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that something that...
Not necessarily. I feel like they should just contribute just as much as everybody else there and be vocal and be heard. That's really about it. Because I think a lot of sightseers out there that are people just going out there to just take pictures and just
likes.
Yeah.
Get likes and views. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're out there, just be out there for a purpose.
What do you think, Chance?
I've always just gone out to be supportive. I've never thought about, and I have to think about it to make my own personal opinion on it. What Bailey said about not participating in some of the chants, because I've participated whenever I go. I've only been total. This past Sunday would be my 5th protest of my life. So I've always participated in all.
You said the what?
The 4th or 5th protest I've ever participated in my life.
Okay.
And I've always been involved in all the chants, but I'm also not someone at a protest, I'm there to be, I doubt I would be in the line, and I doubt I would be, a police officer. So, no, I've always just gone to beat them.
I don't know. My bad. Is the audio glitchy with y'all, or is that just my computer?
A little bit, but it's not horrible.
Okay. All right, cool. So here's the thing, man. What I've been thinking about a lot lately, I'm on a cultural fluency committee at the school that I work at, right? And we had a meeting yesterday, and it got crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Never thought I'd sit in a school function meeting that went where it went, but the whole time I kind of just sat back and watched and observed, because you know me, I don't have a problem being vocal, and I've been very vocal in a lot of these meetings that we've been in. But this time, and I kind of already said my spiel at the last meeting, so this time I said I'm just gonna sit back and just observe and kind of take in and listen to what everybody's saying. And what I gathered is that right now, man, we're living in a time where everybody is extremely emotionally invested in what's going on right now, right? So everybody's very emotional right now. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're all cooped up in our houses in this quarantine, and life is a little, it sucks right now, and it's not normal, and people are ready to get out and do whatever. But I think that's made people uber sensitive, not uber sensitive, that's probably the bad word, but uber emotional right now, to the point where it felt like in the meeting, I kept hearing people just say, well, white people, y'all ain't doing enough. And almost charged, white people, you need to do more. White people this and white people that. And I just really I had to sit, like one of the guys said, well, look, I would have there was a protest in Marietta. And he was like, well, I would have went, but it was my daughter's birthday. And I kind of she's turning 16, so I wanted to be there for my daughter on her birthday. That doesn't mean that I'm not an ally to the cause. It just means that I put family first. And people kind of even felt offended by that. Well, blah, 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 blah. Like, you could at least, and it just seems like everybody right now is just, you need to do more. Look at me at how much I'm doing. I need my voice heard. I have complaints about how people are doing whatever it may be. And I guess the question I'm starting to ask myself is like, are we doing too much? Are we doing too much? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's also part of the reason why Bailey just said there's a lot of performative allyship, meaning like people will, especially on social media, it's so easy to do, will post about how they're for Black Lives Matter and they're for this cause, etc. And they want to get likes. They want people to see, hey, look, I'm part of the answer, right? Even businesses are doing that. So, I mean, are we doing too much right now? Or do you think this is what's needed for change to happen? Are we supposed to be calling people out?
Personally, I think it's needed. I think that you know, and I'm not saying that like every person or every white person has to be like crazy activist out there ready to get arrested. You know, that's not at all. But I think it's about transparency. Like I always say, I'd rather someone out and say like, I don't really care about this movement because it has nothing to do with me, than be like, Black Lives Matter, but I'm gonna say the N-word in rap songs. Like it's about transparency. And so I think that the issue with the performative allyship is a lot of it is well-intended. And I think the problem is not that people are like, I'm gonna fake this so that I can get likes or get, but people truly do think that's enough. People truly do think, oh, well, we're standing in solidarity, right? Because in the past, it hasn't been enough, of course, but like, even I was saying in 2016, 2015, like, I definitely posted stuff like that. You know, I definitely posted like something like a black square. And then you start to realize like, that isn't enough. So I think it's less about attacking people and calling people out. It's about calling people in. It's like, I see that you're posting, which means that you are aware enough that you want to talk about this. Let's talk about it. So the black square, you know, I love that you posted that to show your support, but let's talk about how that can actually be really harmful for information that's important. And let's talk about what you can do. And I think it's really uncomfortable for white people to not be heard. And so it's going to be a learning process.
What do you mean it's uncomfortable for white people not to be heard?
Because the whole point of the Blackout Tuesday thing wasn't to post a black square. It was so that people would be quiet for a minute and like listen to black voices and black activists and black businesses. And then all of a sudden you have a million people being like, I have decided to come on Instagram and be vocal to tell you I'm going to be silent.
And the biggest part of it was the hashtag, because if you posted it without a hashtag and then someone, so if it was hashtag Black Lives Matter, and you search Black Lives Matter, you got all those. If people had posted it with no hashtag to it, it wouldn't have actually stopped. It wouldn't have affected anybody if there was no hashtag attached to it.
Right. I know, Bailey, you made a video explaining that to people.
I did, and I made a post saying, if you're gonna post that, do something productive as well. If you're gonna post a black square, attach petitions, attach organizations, attach black activists, attach books to read. Like, I always ask myself, like, when I post, what is this doing? How is this helping? And, you know, as much as it's beneficial to be like, Black people, we stand with you, like, then do it, you know, do something. Actively do it. And it doesn't have to be like physically standing at protests, but, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, even with saying like, oh, I can't be there on my daughter's birthday, that's fine. Maybe order your daughter's cake from like a black bakery instead. You know, there's different ways to do it. And I think when we, as non-black people, stop excusing it and saying like, and stop like saying that, oh, well, it's uncomfortable and I was doing my best. Like, we're gonna have to be uncomfortable. We're gonna have to get used to the fact that our best isn't always gonna be good enough, and we have to learn and adapt, because we live in a system that was built for people who look like me. And so as we dismantle it, we're not gonna know how to do that. So like, we have to be ready to be uncomfortable and to have people tell us that we're going too far, you know?
Well, I would have ordered out of a black bakery, but I don't know of any.
Google it.
What'd you say?
Google it.
I've been saying that a lot lately.
Also, there's
Google
a
it. I've been kind of tired of having conversations. I say, listen.
There's a website called Eye on Black Business, and it's a black business directory.
Good.
And literally, like, that's the funniest thing. Like, people, can you explain that to me? I'm like, you can Google it.
Mm-hmm.